Hey there. Most authors work hard and never achieve success. A smaller number still work hard and do achieve that success. An even smaller number work hard and then maybe only see that success after their death. And a smaller number still work hard, achieve success, and then throw it away. I can only think of one in that last category, actually. Rosemary Tonks, a prominent English writer in the 1960s, threw away her life of literary fame and success after a series of personal tragedies and setbacks. We all have times in life where we dream of being famous and successful, but do we really want these things? Should we? And are we prepared to face personal tragedy in our professional lives? Rosemary's work spanned about a decade, as her first work was published in 1963. Her work spanned 6 novels, 2 poetry collections, and various articles published in different media outlets. Her poems mostly reflected themes of the 1960s, such as hedonism, partying, and urban life, as she lived in London at the time. Her novels reflected the same thing, except they took more of an autobiographical stance. Rosemary was highly celebrated in the London literary circles and was one of the only published women at the time. Her career was going very well, but shortly, problems would begin to appear for her, which would declare her status in the future as a forgotten author. The 1970s were not good to Rosemary Tonks. In 1968, her mother died, which was the first of many personal tragedies. After that, she got a divorce, which she didn't want. There was a robbery that happened to her where nearly all her clothes were stolen. There was a lawsuit which cost her thousands of dollars. And she got neuritis in her left hand, which was her writing hand, as her right hand had already been withered by polio when she was just a child. She spent a lot of the 1970s soul-searching, understandably, looking into East Asian religions and trying various unconventional methods of meditation, such as staring into bright objects for a long amount of time. This last thing I've mentioned was the final nail in the coffin for her literary career. Rosemary had to have surgery on her eyes in 1978 after being nearly blinded, and the surgery left her nearly blind. Her works fell out of publication, and she began to live alone, depressed, and not knowing what to do. In this time, Rosemary turned to Christianity. She destroyed the manuscript of a novel she had been working on, sold or destroyed many of her prized possessions, was baptized, and lived all alone with making no contact to the public until her death in 2014. A little buzz developed around Rosemary after her death, as many people who had forgotten about her were reminded of her existence. But it wasn't enough buzz, and to this day, Rosemary Tonks remains a forgotten author. Rosemary was one of the finest poets in England in the 1960s and had a very bright career ahead of her, including the career that she had already carved out for herself. But a series of personal tragedies and setbacks caused her to throw away her life of literary success and earn her status as a forgotten author. There are a lot of forgotten authors out there, but Rosemary's story remains a fascinating and idiosyncratic look into the life of someone who achieved fame and success and then threw it away. Thank you.